Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for yet another edition of Adam Interviews, where we're talking with folks in our community doing exceptional things for our community. And today I have a big crew. Normally we have one person, maybe two. I think we have like 70 this time around. But we're going to fit them all in. We don't have 70, don't worry. But we're talking about the Rainbow Classic. A lot of you know what that is. A lot of you do not. And I want to tell you about it because it's coming up. And if you want to be part of something magical during this magical time of year, this is your opportunity to do so. And with that, I want to introduce two of our 70 guests. First, Kim McCluskey joining us. She has many, many titles. She was once the president of the school board and a longtime family friend. But most importantly, in this particular context, she is one of the organizers of the Rainbow Classic. So, Kim, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, we have Patrick Irving, Dr. Irving, who is with us from the Pittsford Central School District. He is the athletic director. I believe you're in Churchville Chili prior, if I'm not mistaken.
Gates Chili, yeah.
Gates Chili, excuse me.
Yeah.
I always get the dual towns mixed up. But thank you so much for joining us. We really
thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
us.
Of course. So, Kim, I'll start with you. Rainbow Classic, 25 years. For those who don't know, what is it?
So the Rainbow Classic was brought into play by the Paisley family when they lost their daughter, Caitlin, and they wanted to do something to give back to the hospital, and they decided to do computers for kids because at that time, kids didn't have computers like we do now. And then we knew them because their son played hockey with our son. And when Ryan passed away, when our son Ryan passed away 3 years later, Barb and Brian asked Steve and I to become part of the Rainbow Classic, and sort of the perfect match. I mean, to try to take a tragedy for both of us and make it into something that was really good for our community and for our schools. And they were the Mendon side and we were the Sutherland side, so it was just the perfect combination.
Yeah, look, at the end of the day, there's so much good surrounding the Rainbow Classic. At the same time, it was tragedy. It was sorrow that brought it together. So I think it's interesting, the mixture. And I think I love the fact that it doesn't ignore that side of life and then celebrates what was given to us when they were alive. I want to mention too, I had the great privilege of knowing Ryan, walking the halls with him, and there was no brighter light than him. So a great privilege, and to see his legacy play out through this is tremendous. What do you think 25 years later that it's still going and growing?
I'm amazed. I mean, I think you start it, and Paisley started, like I said, and we came in, but you hope it does well every year, but you kind of keep thinking, well, it's going to run its course. But I think the students in the schools, they start going when they're young, and their parents take them when they're, in the middle school and then in high school. And I just think it builds and builds. And I think we lost a little momentum during COVID.
Right.
But I felt like it's starting to come back a lot. And the kids love it. When you ask the seniors, a lot of them say when they ask them what they loved best about school, they say one of their favorite things is the Rainbow Classic.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I love that it teaches the kids like how to give back to our community.
Right.
And I hope, as they go forward, they'll think about that, about what we did for the community, and they maybe would do something to give back to their communities.
Yeah, the meaning behind different things and whatnot. And Patrick, as most people know, the Sutherland Mendon games can be very intense. But do you find that when Rainbow Classic rolls around, the kids, I don't know, there's just a different approach to the game amongst the players?
Yeah, our students are obviously excited. Anytime Sutherland and Mendon are playing, I would even say our middle schools, when they're competing against each other, there's a lot of excitement. But the Rainbow Classic definitely has a different feel to it. Obviously, it's for a great cause. We love raising money for the Golisano Children's Hospital, the history behind it with the McCluskeys and the Paisley family. But our students always step up. There's a lot of excitement on the court for both the boys and the girls game, and our competitive cheerleaders that are there as well. But at the end of the day, our coaches, our student athletes, the community, we all come together and hug it out after the game. And we love the check presentation and everybody who comes together for that. So at the end of the day, in my role, I always love when athletics can really bridge that gap and be a vehicle for something larger for a community. And this is a perfect example of that.
I want you to be a salesman right now. Tell us when the game is, where you can get tickets, all of that stuff.
So the game is next Friday, December 19th. The girls tip at 6 o'clock. The boys tip at 8 o'clock. It's at the Palestra at the University of Rochester. Tickets are all sold digitally. We've already sold hundreds, so please buy before they sell out. You can find it on our school website, but you can also find it on Instagram and X and all our social media, and they're going quickly. And as you can imagine, the schools, the hallways are really excited. Our coaches, our student athletes are really revving up for this.
I love that. And Kim, does the money go somewhere? Is this there's also a fundraiser attached to this?
Yes. So every year, Barb Paisley, who passed away, Brian's wife, couple of years ago, she was always the person that decided sort of where the money went, although it was obviously with conversations from the hospital of what they need. So over the years, it's done a lot. It's done programs such as eating disorders, and we did 4 years of mental health where the money went to those two things. And then we usually do 2 or 3 years. We did mental health 4 years because COVID was in there. But the money's gone to this next year. I think we're going to start working on giving money for a new mobile unit they're going to have that will go out to communities. So I think that'll be our next step. But we've done programs. We've done many different things over the years, and it's amazing to me that we've raised. I think we're at $600 or over $600,000 now, which is amazing.
For a couple basketball games. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that says a lot. And I think you hit it on the head, and I'll have you elaborate a little bit more where, the kids feel good after they leave something like this, because this is a good representation, I think, of what community is in general. It's kind of a distillation of what community is.
Yeah, I agree. I just think it's great for kids to realize that, playing a basketball game and raising money, how much good it does. And the students come and take a tour. The teams just took a tour in this past week. And we try to show them some of the areas that the money has made a difference. And then some of the doctors and head of the hospital, Dr. Halterman, spoke to them about different programs the money also goes to. So it's been a lot and a long time for something like this to continue and do so well each year.
Have you had any players or anybody who's been involved while they were a student come back and help out when they've graduated?
So many students, so many of our students move away and then come back here when they start having children, and I honestly think it's because of the quality of our schools. And a lot of those friends who I'll use our son Ryan, who passed away, a lot of his friends have moved back here, and they all come to the game. Mm-hmm. They all get tickets and come to the game, and they're bringing their kids now to the game, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, all right, just got a little misty-eyed there thinking about that. But Patrick, if someone isn't affiliated, should they say, "Well, I don't know Pittsford. I don't know the teams that well"? Should that prevent them from coming to a game like this?
No, we want the larger Rochester community to attend, and honestly, if you don't have history with the Golisano Children's Hospital or the Pittsford Central School District specifically, you're going to see 2 great games. Both our girls programs and our boys programs, they always put on a great show. Those are always tight games. Mm-hmm. So even if you're just a basketball lover, donating, giving your time, giving your support, buying a ticket, all those funds go to the Golisano Children's Hospital. So you'll see 2 great games, but you'll also be supporting the cause.
You know what I like about this too is not all that long ago, there was only one middle school, Pittsford Middle School. I'm not going to condense it into its abbreviation or some kid will make fun of me. But the Mendon and Sutherland side would come together for 2 years and then split up, but that changed when Barker and Calkins. This is, to me, a nice way, Patrick, to bring the kids together in a way that they might not have had a chance to do.
Oh, for sure. And we see our students of all ages come in with parents, family, friends, spectators. That crowd is really just the entire community comes out. And I know so many people, to your previous question, that do not live in the Pittsford community that come to this game. And it's really remarkable. My family comes as well, too. It's always great to have them there.
Yeah, December 17th, is that what you said?
The 19th, next Friday.
Man, I'm just mixing up Gates Trial 17th. Thank you for that correction, December 19th there. And Kim, before we kind of switch to the next guest here, any last message that you'd like to send out to folks about Rainbow Classic, about Ryan, about anything at this point?
Ryan always had a can-do attitude, and he always had a great sense of humor. And I like to think of him like looking down at the game now and just loving it. And it's like Patrick said, it doesn't matter if you live in Pittsford. It's just a great game, and I think it's a great cause, and it does great things for the hospital. So I would invite everybody that wants to come. Hopefully, we'll sell it out again.
Yeah, a win, win, win,
Yeah.
win, with maybe a couple losses mixed in for the the unfortunate teams. But thank you both so much for chatting with me. We're going to take a very short break here, and when we come back, we're going to have two others who are deeply connected to the Rainbow Classic. We'll see you in a minute. Hi, everyone. Welcome back. We are still talking about the Rainbow Classic, which is on December 19th. It's a wonderful event. It's not just a game, right? It's not just the boys and girls basketball game between Sutherland and Mendon, although that's what it is. It's really a community event. It's a way for us to come together in a very meaningful way. We talked about the origins of it and how it started and how the fundraising has helped so many people and kids in our area through Golisano and just general research and things like that. So, just one of those wonderful things. And joining us to talk about the game itself, because at the end of the day, that's what you're going to see if you go out to it, is Bob Nally and his son Trevor. Thank you both so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Adam.
All right, so Bob, you're the Mendon boys basketball coach. I can only imagine how upset Sutherland is going to be that they're not going to get representation here, but I'll take what I can get. And so you've done this several years now. In fact, you've coached against your brother, John, who is the Sutherland basketball coach for many years. What is this event like, and what does it mean to you?
Well, I'm lucky enough to I've been a part of this Rainbow Classic since the beginning for 25 years. I was on the Sutherland side for 15 years, and now I'm in my 11th year on the Mendon side. The event is like no other. The high caliber games that you go to see, the energy in the gym that night, the community coming together for such a powerful cause, is just really nothing like it in high school sports. So it's meant everything to us. And like you said, with my brother being the previous coach, it was a full family affair. Trevor and Jack, who are on my team right now, they've been to, well, Trevor 16 of these, and Jack will be 18.
That's so impressive. Yeah, it's a family affair, not just a community affair, but something that means a lot to you as a family. And Trevor, what is it like to have, you've gone since you were a kid. Well, I guess in a way to me, you're still a kid, but since you were a youngin', so now that you're playing in it, what does this mean to you?
It means so much, just especially for the cause of the Golisano Children's Hospital. It's a surreal feeling to be able to play in this game, and two great teams this year. It's going to be a really competitive and fun game. So,
is it hard for you? I mean, look, those that we're honoring here, a lot of this happened decades ago. Do you feel connected to them at all in kind of the origins of this?
I do in a way. Yeah, it's just it's really ties in to the cause, and I feel like the game is a great way of expressing the cause, something competitive, obviously, since Ryan played hockey, and it's a really good feeling to play in the game. So
you're not going to take it easy on Sutherland, are you?
No.
All right. Good. And Bob, when you talk to folks in the community who are out there, I always say, we always say, it should be a special time of year, any time of year to do well. But the fact is, this is the holidays. And does that impart any additional community bonding or connection, would you say?
It does, absolutely. The timing of it couldn't be any better. With people that have gone through the Pittsford schools and the alumni from our girls and boys basketball programs and our cheerleaders as well, they grow up with this, they become a part of it, then they go off to college, and when they come home or they, decide to move to another city and they come back for the holidays, they also can get to this game because it's usually right before the holidays. So I think we get more fans at this game, more buzz around town because of it. All the young alumni are coming back talking about it. Our coaching staffs are getting texts on both sides, good luck. I've already got a few today, because they know it's coming up. They're letting us know they're coming into town. And it is a great time to give,
Yeah. Oh, it absolutely is. And so what's after you leave and you walk out, by the way, there usually, I'm assuming there are a few tears shed, during the event. The message that you kind of walk away with each time after the games are over.
Yeah, win or lose with this game, there's always something good to feel about, and it isn't always necessarily the same case with other games or at the end of the season and your final game. But this game, there's always a good feeling coming out, even if you're a little disappointed with the result of the game. Just knowing how much you've helped, two great families that do a lot for Pittsford, but also for Rochester in general. If everyone knew what they gave to their community, they would be shocked. And being a part of it and being able to be, friends with them now is just knowing what they do. It makes you feel amazing helping out with this cause.
All right, I'm going to need you both to be as objective as possible. Trevor, I'll start with you. How are the teams stacking up against each other? You've probably played a lot with the kids over at Sutherland. What's the? I'm guessing, how many games have you guys played so far?
We're only one game in.
One game in.
Yeah, we're
all right.
1-0 right now, and Sutherland plays their first game tonight.
Oh boy. All right, Trevor. What's the prediction? Who's going to be the better team this year?
Well, I'd have to say Mendon. No bias, but
yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a really good game. I think both of our teams are stacking up to be very competitive this year.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be really fun to watch.
All right. How about you, Coach Nelly?
Absolutely. Yeah. Sutherland is going to be very strong this year. After watching us play the other night, we're going to be very strong this year. So it really should be a really good game and a great environment.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if folks, I asked this of Patrick Irving before, but if you have no affiliation with the Pittsford School District, you've been going to these for years. Do you have people come that have no affiliation with Pittsford? And if so, like, kind of what do they talk to you about afterwards?
Absolutely. So friends that I grew up with, that I went to high school with, that live in the Rochester community, but not necessarily in Pittsford, many of them have come to the game. Many of them have grown up hearing about it and being around it because we're friends. So they'll come to the game, and it might be the only game they ever come to every year, but there's a lot of people around Rochester that know about it, and around Monroe County basketball, because it's Sutherland and basketball playing each other. All the other teams and coaches know about this game, and some come to watch and experience it because it's a packed house at the Palestra. You rarely see packed games at the Palestra. Unfortunately, I know the U of R coaches would like to see that happen.
Their
players, when they're coming in and out of locker rooms, they see it, and you can see their eyes light up. Like, the fan base is crazy. The students, what they do is just amazing. And so they come and watch. The community watches. Also, some of the coaches are there to scout us because they're playing us soon, but they leave knowing that that's a pretty special event. I do want to give a shout out to our cheerleaders real quick. It's 2 basketball games, but our cheerleaders are there, and they do a lot in the background in the months leading up, and they do a lot of the heavy lifting for the fundraising.
Some of them, some very heavy lifting.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's wonderful. I appreciate that note too. And it kind of speaks to, again, the community aspect of this, not just a regular basketball game.
Right.
So with that, I want to thank you, Trevor and Bob, for talking with me today. I'm going to wish you luck, but as a former Knight, that's where I'm going to leave it.
That's okay.
But thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming in and talking with us about the Rainbow Classic, which again is on December 19th. Tickets still available. Thank you both.
Thank you.
All right. With that, I want to let you know this isn't over just yet. We're going to speak with another co-founder of this event and talk about why he did what he did and what he thinks about where it's gone. Stay with us. All right, welcome back. As you were expecting, we are going to continue our conversation about the Rainbow Classic, which is on December 19th. Pittsford Mendon, Pittsford Sutherland, the boys and girls basketball teams going head to head. But that's only part of what makes it so special, because as most who go know, it's a movement, it's a mission, it's a message that's being sent throughout this event. And this wouldn't be possible without my billionth guest right now. We have Brian Paisley joining us. And Brian, thank you so much for making the time and coming in.
My pleasure. Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Oh, no, it's I'm so grateful that I got to tell the story of the Rainbow Classic through you and our other guests. We spoke with Kim McCluskey, who helped to found this on the Sutherland side. You started on the Mendon side.
Correct.
If you don't mind, why don't you talk about how this all started?
I'd be happy to. My daughter was a patient. She was a third grade student at Park Road School. And she was a patient at Golisano. She had contracted leukemia. And unfortunately, she passed away in the hospital. And at that time, Todd Julian, the Fulco family on the Sutherland side, Bartoff family from Mendon, and the Martin family from Mendon came to us and came to me and said, "What do you think about having a ball game between Mendon and Sutherland, and having the money, do it in Kate's memory, and having the money go to Golisano. And I had played athletics at the University of Rochester, and they were kind enough to allow us to use the Palestra at no charge for the past 25 years. So it's been a pretty remarkable program to have that level of longevity, and the game continues to be a very significant fundraising opportunity in terms of the hospital.
Was it hard for you to start it because the loss was yours
Very
and it
difficult.
was so intense, and
Very,
now it
very
had to be
difficult.
public in a way?
Yeah, and the only thing that you can think of is that out of a tragic event, you can, in her memory, have an impact that's going to have a long-lasting impact, for generations. And it's resulted in that. So while it's difficult this time of the year, she passed away in November 27th. And then the game comes, and it kind of puts it in perspective. It's always a little bit bittersweet, but the game has made her passing somewhat more bearable, if there is such a thing.
I took it upon myself to, describe Ryan, who I knew, and how he just found joy every day. Some people find comfort in these moments, especially talking about Caitlin, what she was like. If you'd like to, I want to open that door for you.
Sure. The reason, for example, the reason it's called the Rainbow Classic is because Kate, when in the hospital, was painting rainbows almost every day, and she always had a bright look on things, and never, even while she was sick. Her school, her teacher had brought her a laptop, and she felt badly that the other kids in the hospital didn't have laptops. So the very first thing we did in terms of fundraising was to provide for laptops, which at the end evolved into a very sophisticated interactive system that they now have at Strong, which for Golisano Children's Hospital, called the Get Well Network. So Kate was a person who didn't want to bring any attention to herself. She would be, I think, very surprised that such a thing has evolved from her passion.
Yeah. We talk about living out someone's legacy, and that's what's happening here. And
It's been wonderful.
25 years. Did you expect that when you started?
No, I wasn't sure. I thought that as some of the children that were my kids' age, that were in school with my other three kids, as they started to move on in their lives, I thought it would be difficult to maintain the connection. But thanks to the community, the coaches, to the players, and really to the hospital too, it's really taken on an incredible, incredible life. I always tell the story. My grandmother was sitting in a waiting room of a hospital in Florida, opened up a national magazine, and there was an article about the Rainbow Classic in Pittsburgh. So it's reached a point where it's generally recognized as one of the finest fundraising activities done by any high school in the country.
Why do you think that is?
I think it's the community. I think the fact that they won't let it die. They understand the value.
Yeah.
And we're so fortunate as a community to have Golisano Children's Hospital here, but the opportunity for fundraising and the things that are needed there never ends. There's always new technology. There's always new things that we want to do for kids. And this is an example of one of the things that contributes directly to, wonderful options for the children.
You mentioned that you were kind of surprised that people in the past found connection to the games and the teams of the future. But I think, the older I get, the more connected I feel with things in the past and things to come. You see the line. Maybe when you're a kid, you don't see that line that stretches through everything.
I think you're right. And I think as people return to Pittsburgh, if they have children, they realize that very, very rarely does not someone be touched in some fashion or another and have the need for the services of Golisano Children's Hospital.
Yeah.
And having it here still requires financing, and the fundraising goes directly to benefit them. So it's been a great, great community event.
All right. So it's not sold out yet, the December 19th event, as far as I know.
Tickets still available.
There you go. It's funny. You can go to a community tree lighting or what have you. But to me, as I noted earlier on in this conversation, that to me, I can't think of anything more in the spirit of the season than something like this.
Oh, it's just a wonderful, wonderful event. It's kind of really a focal point for a lot of kids when they come home. That's where they meet.
yeah.
That's where they get together. They just have a great time. See you at the classic kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's been
not,
great.
Not so much thirsties anymore. So if people go and they are inspired to help, I mean, is there ways for people to volunteer or help out in the future? What should they do?
There are opportunities. Certainly the most important thing is come to the game, buy
Yeah.
tickets. And if you're a business person, we have opportunities for individuals to advertise digitally. Their names get talked about at the game. And we're
Yeah.
certainly encouraging people to do that as well.
Has it become a tight little group, those who have been a part of it for a long time? You and Kim
We all know
McCluskey?
each other so
Yeah.
well, and we all look forward to working on it. And Kim and I are both on the Children's Hospital Board, which is a fundraising board. So they're all engaged in it, and certainly the coaches, Bob, and his brother John was just tremendously helpful during the course of the whole process. And as I said, Todd Julian was one of the first people to really have the thought of doing the game, and then it became reality, and he's still heavily involved.
Oh, that's wonderful.
That's great.
Yeah. Is there one game that stands out, or do they all kind of have their own magic? Or I'm sure they all do, but is there one that's, maybe it was the first one, I don't know, that really stands out to you?
It's hard for me to pick, but I do know that there are many times when, on paper, one team should have the advantage, and it doesn't happen that way. Because you get into Palestra, and you have that many people, and it's a different environment.
Yeah.
So your heart beats a little bit faster, and you got to bring your A game.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go, which should make it even more of a
It
big
will.
sporting event. So
Absolutely.
anything else, Brian, that you want to add?
Just
that
thank
I
you
might have-
to the community for
Yeah.
all that they've done for the past 25 years.
Well, thank you
You're welcome.
for this, and thank you for the time and everything you've done for the Rainbow Classic. So Brian Paisley joining me. He's going to be at the Rainbow Classic, and you can be there too. If you go online, you can get tickets digitally. December 19th, you can see the girls' game, the boys' game. It's going to be a wonderful time, and I always look for those places that you can go where you feel, I keep saying it, the magic. And this is one of those places. So I hope that you can join the folks there, cheer on whichever team you want, or just cheer on the community. And so we're going to have information over at rochesterfirst.com. We'll have links within this article if you're having trouble finding the ticket stuff. So that'll be there. Feel free to share this interview with your family and friends, but also tell them about the Rochester First app, which has content like this every weeknight at 8 o'clock, and then my colleagues producing some wonderful stuff as well. So with that, thank you so much for joining us, and we will talk soon. Take care, everyone.
Get the Rochester First streaming app today for everything you love from News 8 On Demand, plus exclusive shows you won't see anywhere else. Search ROC and download for free on Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV.